Look. Radio. Radio. Yip, 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 yip.
The following presentation may express views and beliefs that are not necessarily those of Third Eye Radio, Third Eye Radio Network, and the Third Eye Radio Management Team. Thank you for listening to Third Eye Radio.
This program contains graphic material, including offensive language.
Fucking what the fucking fuck? Who the fuck? Fuck this fucking. How did you do fucking fucks?
Discretion is advised.
Fuck!
Well, it certainly illustrates the diversity of the word.
We're sorry, the number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
You wanted to know who I am, Zero Cool? Well, let me explain the New World Order. Governments and corporations need people like you and me. We are samurai, the keyboard cowboys, and all those.
This is the Third Eye Radio Network, and you're now listening to Truth, Insight, and Enlightenment, with no language spared. Bringing it to you is now live. And here's your host, Gou Bou.
Welcome back, motherfuckers. Man, have I been busy as fuck the last couple of days. Before we get started with Mike O'Brien, there's some things I need to address real quick. The first thing I want to say is a huge thank you to Jeff Witkowski. He's the awesome person that threw together my logo, and he did that for me for free. So I just want to say thank you, Jeff. You are the shit. You guys can interact with us by tweeting to @ThirdEyeRadio with your questions or any comments you have. You can also direct message from the thirdeyeradio.com webpage if you'd like to remain anonymous. You can also send your questions to me on my Facebook page. I'll be checking that periodically. I want to say thanks once again to Dark Oak Productions and Recordings for producing my show and hooking me up with all of my sound bites and most of my audio needs for my show and my YouTube channel. They are really, really awesome, guys. I would also like to thank Value Dog Training out of Sacramento. She's helping sponsor today's show, and this would probably be a good time to say that the views I express on my show are more than likely not hers. Debbie, you are amazing, and everybody here putting the show together wants to wish you a heartfelt thank you. You are appreciated. So what's up, guys? We're waiting for Mike O'Brien to call into the show. He got a little bit busy working on the network launch and the videos that we're doing for that. In case you guys haven't noticed, we had all three of our channels brought down by the cult. And I'm not going to address that because I think it's ridiculous. If you look at YouTube's guidelines, none of our videos that got pulled down actually violate the guidelines that YouTube used to take us down. So it's just another way to silence the truth, which is just, it's basically become the American way as of lately. If you don't believe me, look at what's going on with the NFL. It's ridiculous. Let me first tell you guys that before you guys get all pissed off and say I'm unpatriotic, I am actually patriotic as fuck. I was born in Germany because both of my parents were in the military service. They served their country. They had friends die in Vietnam. And when I talked about going into the military, both of them told me no. That the military is not a place for anybody. They served so I didn't have to. And they served to protect everybody's constitutional rights, which are being violated by our country every day. If you look at Colin Kaepernick, who can't get a fucking job in the NFL because last year he spoke out against police brutality against minorities, to now you've got like teams not even coming out of the locker room for it. It's hypocritical as fuck. Nobody's looking at the fact that all these players are doing it now and poor Colin Kaepernick's jobless just for exercising his constitutional rights. And if you think it's okay to squash someone's constitutional rights because you don't fucking agree with their views, you're part of the fucking problem. You're part of the problem. Those rights are there so that they can't be taken away from us. And for you to want to take it away from somebody else makes it that much easier for someone that doesn't like your shit to take yours away from you. So squash that shit. If no one's preaching hate, if no one's preaching to kill people, leave them the fuck alone. Anyway, Mike O'Brien, he is here. We're going to give him a little bit of time to unmute his microphone.
Hello.
How you doing, bud?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right, man. So you're busy?
Yeah, I've got like a whole slew of videos. I had some more live interviews with Randall this afternoon, so I've got 3 different videos from that. I didn't think he was going to keep calling back because sometimes it's kind of limited. I never know if he's going to have enough phone time to be able to call back, and he called back 3 times. So good amount of information there. I have all of the South Carolina court paperwork his cousin hooked me up with as well. And then I got a whole list of names that we've been investigating, which I got to get with you, Gou, after at some point here. We got to get together, and I got to share some of that with you. And then just, you know, trying to protect my channel from getting totally taken down. I had to go through and make just about all of the videos, the exception of 1 or 2 private, so they have nothing to hit us with. It seems as though that's a YouTube Federal Reserve coalition effort to wipe away anybody that's got anything to do with the accounts in the debt slavery system. They're trying to quickly and quietly silence the truth.
Quickly and quietly. It's only quietly because they're knocking the people out that'll fucking say it.
Right, exactly. Well, that's what they're doing. They're hitting. I mean, you got 2 strikes, was it?
Yeah, I got 2 strikes in one day. And what's funny is one video that they hit me with bullying and harassment was me. I would say the only thing that could have been bullying and harassment was when I called that cop a fucking pig thug for basically making rescuers stop working. And if you watch the video, he really does come out like a fucking asshole right off the beginning. And then once he realizes he's being recorded, he shuts the fuck up and starts barking like, you know, a good little doggy.
Yeah, you know, it's I think that's what they're doing though, because even some of the guys that, you know, we haven't been getting along with all that much, they're getting hit too. And you know, they spoke with me, and they said that they're gonna lay off of all of us. We can each go our separate ways. That way they can focus on going after the individuals, the Federal Reserve and YouTube, and that way we can go about, you know, doing what we're doing, going after the Federal Reserve and YouTube, and working on our amazing program and getting that launched. So, you know, we don't have to agree with one another, but, you know, at least they're realizing that it's wasted effort to sit here and go back and forth and all that. So,
so they reached out to you
at least that much.
They reached out to you and basically called for a truce.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it was mutual. It was mutual. I kind of sent a text message because I heard else that they were calling. They were saying that it had to be one of 4 individuals that caused them to get flagged, and I reached out and said, well, it's not any of us. I know that you're thinking it's us, but it's not, because we all got the same thing. I said it's the Federal Reserve and YouTube. I guess Willow's mom, Willow said, found some kind of articles on the Federal Reserve. She's trying to refine them and send them to me, stating that they're working with YouTube to get all of those channels taken down, which that seems like it. It seems like a coordinated effort where basically they're hitting you with 1 strike, so you lose your live stream, and then they're going to try to, if you don't have a 2nd strike already, they'll follow up and hit you with a 2nd strike so you can't post at all. And I think from there, they're going to try to get that 3rd strike in really quick as well. So, you know, for yourself or anybody else that may be watching this that has content is a victim of this, if you have any strikes at all right now, my personal recommendation is go into the video editor. There's a checkbox you can click that checkbox on each page. It'll take, it'll click all of the videos on each page, one page by page, and then you can put them all to private until this is figured out or resolved. I know it kind of sucks to have to do that with a lot of the videos, but I'm going to start moving the videos that are being censored here over to the Steemit and DTube for my personal one. I may even move them to VidMe. I have a VidMe as well. You should check out, VidMe, also Gou Bou. And if you have any recommendations for any other video we're gonna have to use YouTube in the meantime, just until we transition everyone over. But I think that boycotting YouTube and Google is definitely going to be like the end result. They don't realize they just pissed me off. So, you there?
Hey, Mike, this is Dara. Just let you know, for some reason, Gou Bou just got dropped.
Okay, that's weird.
There we go.
There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, it's real funny how when I get going, my internet starts acting all funny on me.
Oh yeah, you're breaking up.
So, now I'm breaking up now.
You there?
Mike?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That is interesting. We lost him again.
Yeah, that's a sensitive topic too, so that's funny how that works, huh?
I have a question, actually, since we're going to wait for him to come back.
Actually, Dara, I wanted to tell you, and I know we're live, but I wanted to tell you, man, I meant to text you or call you back the other day. I got your email, and then I got that strike, and it's just been kind of like I'm scrambling, trying to make sure I don't want to lose that whole channel. So
oh yeah, no worries.
I was moving stuff around, but I definitely wanted to set that up.
Yeah, so people that are listening, we're talking about doing an alter view interview with Mr. MOB here. So stay tuned.
Also the segment too. I'd definitely be interested in doing that, maybe Sundays or something like we discussed. If possible. Yeah,
that would be excellent. The question that I had, the Fed Reserve and YouTube Coalition, are they targeting just these specific videos, or is it going to be if you have a video or two with those titles in them, is that what's going to get you to strike and then eventually closing your channel?
Truthfully, I don't know the specifics of it. It just appears as though anybody that's talking about the accounts, I mean, Eon got taken down. I got my second strike. Willow got her second strike.
Jeez.
We acted pretty quickly. See, I don't think a lot of other people were thinking, oh, if I make all my videos private, because if they're private, then YouTube can't even go and view them.
Right.
That's the thing about it, because like if you try to monetize a video or you have a second review and it's private, they can't even do that. So by moving them private, then they can no longer hit you with that extra strike. But anything to do with the accounts, they're going after you. I mean, I don't know if like in your case, I know you've covered some stuff. You've had like interviews. I don't know if you're gonna have to worry. You haven't really been like putting out routing numbers, but then again, I mean, the video that I got the strike for, had nothing to do with routing numbers or account numbers. You know what the video was my highest viewed video. It had over 400,000 views on it. It was the Fidelity video where I showed people how to use Fidelity to search for securities in your name. So I wasn't telling people to do anything. I wasn't showing people to do anything other than just verify that they have securities in their name. And that's it. And that's obviously the truth they didn't want out there.
Yeah. That's funny you brought that up.
There's other videos that are out there with the same exact thing that have high views like that, and they're still there. So I don't understand it.
Yeah, the last video that I saw by Eon 2, he was talking about what video got him his strike and what got him all up in arms is how he literally just went to Social Security's website and showed people the website. And that's the one he got taken down for. So by showing people how to do what they can do on their own seems to be what's triggering.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
anyway,
because
thanks.
you're empowering the masses, and they don't like that.
Yeah.
They want people to be, dumbed down, and they want them to be weak so that they can't, figure this stuff out for themselves. If you're teaching somebody how to go about, empowering themselves or learning more, and that's what's so crappy about it. And I mean, it definitely hurts to have the video that I had that had the most views. It was an awesome video. And then to have that get taken down like that, and then I appealed it. And here's the other funny part about it is both Willow and I both appealed them yesterday. Like I did it maybe 11 o'clock yesterday. I appealed it. I put in, I wrote my piece on it that it wasn't telling anybody to do anything. It had a disclaimer that it was simply showing people how to find securities in their name.
Right.
That this is plain censorship, and I'm going to contact an attorney, and I am going to be contacting an attorney about it. And the appeal for both her and I, we both did our appeals yesterday. We had an answer by midnight. It was actually at midnight on the dot, so it's very obvious it was an algorithm. It was a computer. No person went and double checked it. It was a computer, and it was set up to automatically deny it. They denied our appeals. Unfortunately, I'm 99% sure I have a copy of that video elsewhere, which is good, because then I can use that as proof that it's bullshit. There's no reason for it. It's just the censorship's just getting too big, and I'm definitely going to be. My war drums are going. I'm going to war with them at this point. The censorship's way too much.
Thanks for answering that, and I'm going to go back in my cave because I think Gou Bou's back.
Gou Bou, you there?
Yes, I am.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk too much there, buddy.
No, man, like, it's good because I think people need to realize that it's not that our channels were doing anything wrong. There's nothing against the YouTube guidelines. They're just silencing us because they don't like the shit that we're fucking saying.
That's it. It's not that they don't like it. It's that the Federal Reserve and the bankers don't like it. You're empowering people.
Well, you can't do that. That's just horrible.
Yep.
So it's kind of crazy because you look at the other shit that they allow to fly and what's okay, and somehow telling people that
Yeah. You want to know something? You want to see something that's really screwed up?
Go
type in the search term how to hack an ATM or how to hack a bank account or any of those. Look at how many videos pop up and the views. They've got an insane amount of views. Now, all of those, even some of them are just for entertainment purposes, which, we put this as entertainment purposes, but what we're speaking is truth. Now, a lot of those are misleading. They tell people, oh, you can do it, and then in very, very, very fine print, oh, no, don't do this at home, blah, blah, blah. Well, they've got those out there. Those aren't getting taken down, and that's because it's total bullshit. When you got something that's actually true and you're speaking truth, no, that's not okay.
Oh no, those got to come down really fast. So, what is your backup channel so that the people that know and are listening here can go to it?
It's www.youtube.com/stopthechaosnow.
Okay. I'm not even going to promote my YouTube channel because as far as I'm concerned, I'm just going to focus on getting the network up, and then I'm just going to use YouTube for the next couple videos to promote that, and then I'm done with them. It's bullshit. I'm completely against that, and I'm not going to fucking help benefit them by bringing my viewers to them and giving them views for my shit.
Yeah, and from the text messages that we had, I definitely agree. It's just it's a matter of, especially with how big the community is and how many people there are, it's going to take a little bit of time transitioning people from one platform to another. And I don't even think that we should necessarily just stick to one platform. I'll probably always keep a YouTube account just, because there's a lot of new, unawoken people that'll stumble across stuff on YouTube, but I'm definitely with you on that. I'm going to try to move the majority of the viewership to the other platforms. You got VidMe, you got Steemit and DTube. I know there's Hatreon. Hatreon's another video platform. And then I don't know if you saw this, Goo, but Willow had mentioned something about I think it's called The Watch, which is a Facebook video platform now. Supposed to be either launched or launching. I looked it up, and it does. It's like very similar to YouTube. It's supposed to be a YouTube competitor. You can have, it's geared towards people having their own shows and whatnot. So, especially, for all of us, I think that might be another good addition to platforms. I know my channel Facebook has several thousand people in it. So it probably would be beneficial. And then even Dara, I imagine for your radio show, that might be helpful as well.
Yeah, I've been checking out that watch tab that popped up with one of the updates. I never really went into it, but yeah, it seems like another one of those YouTube type platforms. And I think when you said Hatreon, I think you meant Patreon, right?
No, there's Hatreon, Patreon, and then there's a new one called Hatreon.
Okay.
Which I had applied for, because it's another one where you got to apply for a membership, and I applied I don't know, like a month ago, and I haven't even gone on there and made the platform because I just got tied up with all the others, but definitely gonna go and check it out now. There's a few different platforms.
Yeah, I'll have to check those out too. My biggest thing is fuck, man, with the network going up and everything that's going to need to be done for that, I don't have time to do one video for this one video for that one article for here. And I think I would rather just focus on getting the network up, and then I'll start a Gou Bou channel over there and send people there from the network. Because it's just, I don't know, it's a lot of work, dude.
It is, but I mean, I think it's going to be a lot more, while we get it sorted out and we get it up and running. I mean, once it's up and running, there'll still be some work, but it's going to be, ran and by the elected officials and whatnot. So,
when are we going to get the link out so that we can start getting subscribers before we start putting our posts up there?
Yeah, the link, actually, hold on, let me see. Let me find it. That's on the other one. It's Steemit. I gave you the key though, right? The other day.
Yeah, I have the key, but I don't have the.
What, the login? Okay. Yeah, I don't want to say that.
The channel information other than the login.
Okay. Oh, that's mine. I don't want to go to that one. I want to go to.
So while Mike's doing that, I was just wondering if you guys that are listening are going to be interested in a documentary about cataclysmic events that show a different side to the world's history than what we've been taught. I think that's a really big start in getting people to realize that we have been lied to for a very, very long time about what's really happened on this planet.
Definitely. I'd be interested in that, Gou Bou.
I was thinking about doing that as my first post to the channel, because I've had people tell me, well, we want to talk about aliens, we want to talk about pyramids, but before you can really refute the shit that they say about pyramids and aliens, you have to understand that the world history has been skewed intentionally for a reason. Did you find what you were looking for?
Yeah, I got the link. I'm gonna put it in the chat here.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and post that to Facebook.
It may almost even be, like once we get the main one going, it may almost be worth it to do like a second channel of the same organization or whatever for the conspiracy more what do you call it? Controversial stuff. Or I could do it on there. I don't.
I want to contribute as much as I can to the network because I know it's going to be big.
Of course.
So the faster we get it up and going, the better it is for everybody.
Well, the one big thing is if people out there listening and watching, if you guys have any like channel art that you want to send over, that's one of the things that we were actually discussing earlier. Is we wanted to leave that open to you guys. So basically, if you guys want to send over any channel art ideas or whatever for the profile, the actual channel profile picture, and the like the little background pictures, so we can go through it, and then we can have you guys vote on which one you like.
I like that too, letting everybody vote what the logo is going to be.
Oh, yeah, it's important. It's that's one of the key parts about having it belong to everyone and not just us or one person, is giving everyone a decision in it. So
what have you been working on? Like, what are the videos you're working on? Is it stuff to do with Randy?
Yeah, some of it. Well, I mean, some of the stuff that it has to do with Randy, but it's not directly like. I mean, it is directly linked to Randy, but it's more going into the corruption and like things that are not adding up. A lot of inconsistencies. We actually spoke with the sales manager at Buddy Gregg Motorhomes yesterday. Not yesterday, it's the day before yesterday. Twice we spoke with him. I called him the first time. We were on three-way, and then Willow did, and he was very sketched out. Like, he did not want. You could tell that he was very nervous about it. We got a lot of information from him, even though he was trying not to. He did divulge quite a bit, and I do have to say, I think he was concerned that we were going to paint Buddy Gregg Motorhomes in a bad light, which we would never do. It's not Buddy Gregg's, fault that all that happened. It's the these federal agencies and the government and the Federal Reserve that are committing these criminal acts. And I do have to say that he did actually impress me in the fact that he didn't know that I have been working with Randy's family and trying to help with proving that Randy's innocent. And when he first started talking, he said that he was not going to divulge any information that could negatively impact one of their customers. So he was taking it more from a stance of protecting his customer, even though everything went down and they painted Randy as a con artist and as a painted Randy in a negative light. He actually sat there and was kind of taking the stance of protecting his customer, his client. So I got to give him props, and I got to give him credit for that.
Well, he'd had to deal with some fishy stuff on the side of the state with this case, right? Like, weren't they pulling some shady shit with him?
Well, it's not even necessarily the state. He had a bunch of shady shit from every angle. I mean, somebody who supposedly works for USAA first called and impersonated Randall. They had basically pretended to be Randall Bean and said they wanted to cancel their order and have the money refunded back to the USAA account. Now, there's no way of telling who exactly did that, but there's only two different entities which would benefit from that, one being USAA and the second being the Federal Reserve. So somebody actually called Buddy Gregg, and the way they have it set up is you leave a message, and then one of their sales team gets back to you. Well, this individual left a message stating that he wanted a full refund back to that account and wanted to cancel the order. Well, when they called Randy, Randy goes, "No, I didn't call you." And they were very confused at that point, and so was Randy. And And then that was before the arrest. And then, you know, when the arrest went down, like right before the arrest, there was this gentleman from who supposedly works for USAA, and he called Buddy Gregg, and he told the sales manager that Randall was a con artist, a scam artist, that, you know, he had purchased these jumbo CDs and cashed them out early, and then it was a scheme and this and that and the other thing, and that, you know, he needed to cancel the order, et cetera, et cetera. And Buddy Gregg, you know, because the same individual that supposedly worked for USAA first pretended to be an FBI agent on the phone, saying that he worked for the FBI, and then when then he kind of slipped up and said, well, I used to work for the FBI, now I work for USAA. So Buddy Gregg didn't trust him. And basically what ended up happening was, because he didn't trust him, he said, well, I need to check into this more. I'm not just going to, you know, take your word for it. And he called USAA. He called USAA, and he spoke with one of the employees at the call center, and he was verifying that the funds were good, that the funds were there, that everything was on the up and up. Well, the employee at USAA that he spoke with, I guess it wasn't like, you know, being broadcasted, or it wasn't being made public in their bank that, you know, this big scam fraud just happened, because that phone representative told Buddy Gregg's sales manager that, hey, everything's on the up and up, it's all good, the funds are good. So basically the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing.
Right.
You gonna say something?
Yeah. Hey, obviously there's some shady shit going on, right? So what would be the best source that you would have to get people to wake up to the fact that there is a shadow government here working in the shadows?
Now, do you mean on the accounts themselves, or do you mean just as a whole, like in general? What
as
would be,
as a whole in general? Because once people come to realize that there is something in the background working, then the accounts and everything become easier to accept.
Right. That's a good question. I mean, there's so much information out there. It's kind of, I think that's more of a personal, like, different evidence and different proof will resonate with different individuals that in a different manner, because it depends on, you know, what values, what things are important to them, what will hit them the hardest, you know what I mean? But I mean, the symbolism, if you go and you look into the symbolism in our culture, the symbolism throughout the government, between the hand symbols, the facial gestures, the everything, if you don't believe that, you know, there's an Illuminati or there's a shadow government, just go and look at the Illuminati trading cards, which predicted the World Trade Center, predicted some of these massive, you know, disasters years before they've happened. Look at the predictive programming, that kind of stuff. A lot. I mean, for me, that stuff hit me some of the hardest, because there's no way that you're going to have that many coincidences over and over and over again.
Predictive programming. So what do you know about that?
What do I know about predictive programming? I mean, I know my fair share. I mean, I've been, like I said, I've been in the truther community for, I started in maybe 2005, 2004, and then I got really heavy into it in like 2010, 11, and started making videos in 2012. As far as like predictive programming, The Simpsons has called just about every attack or disaster that's ever happened. You've got you know, the symbolism in predictive programming in just about every popular movie. I mean, now as far as like telling that there is a cabal and there is, like, you know, an elite banking world order, you can look at you know, trace back just about every product that we use, every product that is sold, Unless it's sold from a mom and pop shop, everything that's corporatized all ties back to the same handful of families, and you know, they own all the media, they own all of the toiletries, the food, they own the flights, airliners, they own the railroads, everything in the world is owned by the same few individuals. You know, it's there's so much different evidence out there. Like for me to try to, it's like trying to pick it's hard to come up with a specific thing out of all.
It's like
so
picking
much.
a needle in a haystack.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's so much. It's I do have I did have on my main channel. I had quite a bit of evidence. I had some videos that before some of the other guys in the community started going into it. I actually went and I showed like the connection of who owns the Federal Reserve, how the gold was stolen, and all that stuff. I showed the papers of incorporation for the United States, for the IRS. I showed I have a whole list of Actually, I'll send you some of that stuff, Gou Bou, because I'm sure you'd like to have that to make your own video and put out your own ideas on. I've got a link that has a whole bunch of links to a whole bunch of really good information that's good for waking people up.
There's a YouTube channel. She's really good at the predictive programming. Her channel is capital M space capital PATH empath. Dude, she like calls it. She points it out, and she nails it one after the other. So if you've got time, she has an interview on the Alter View that you can check out on the Third Eye Radio Network YouTube channel. And I mean, she's amazing. I'm trying to set something up to where I can get her on the show. So if you guys are listening, you guys should go subscribe to her channel. She'll start putting out more videos if she gets more subscribers. I know she will. And she's got some amazing information.
Yeah, definitely. I'll check her out. Yeah, the predictive programming's, I mean, that's one of like the telltale things. And for somebody that's like, you know, not awoken yet, when they start to see all those coincidences, it's just, you can't chalk it up to coincidence. There's just there's so many over the years, man. I mean, just all of the 9/11 alone, if you go and you look at all of the 9/11 predictive programming, it was planned and executed. No doubt about it.
Oh, I agree, especially with Tower 7. We still don't know how that came down. It's just, the whole thing was ridiculous. I think what the funniest part about for me now looking back is Bush's speech about, you know, let's not buy into conspiracy theories. Now is the time to go get the terrorists.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen the video about these new strange metallic towers that are popping up in New York?
New strange metallic towers.
Oh, they are building these metallic towers in New York. There's a YouTube video on it. I'll send you a link. But basically, they're NSA towers that they're putting in New York, and none of the people in the city that are working with them will say anything about it.
Well, yeah, I imagine that it's a union. It's big commercial construction.
They're huge.
I imagine
it's huge towers I could
probably get some information, because I imagine it's a union job. Anything with public works is union. Those would be my union brothers that are building it then.
Oh, then I would get whatever I could from it, because they've already said they're government towers for Homeland Security. So what's in them?
Yeah, I can definitely.
Why are they going up all over New York?
I actually have some contacts from where in the local I'm in, where I'm at, that came from the New York City local. So I'll start putting my feelers out and see what I can find out about that.
There's a lawyer for in Albany. He's handling this too. He's like bringing a lawsuit because he wants transparency for these things, because if it's NSA, if it's Homeland Security, they're worried about it being facial recognition and all this stupid shit.
Do me a favor. Send me the link to the lawyer in Albany because I'm in upstate New York. So
Yeah, no, I will. I'll send you the video. One of my subscribers sent it to me, and that it just blew me away when I watched it because there's like 2 or 3 different news stations actually broadcasting it, trying to find out what they are, and no one will give them any answers. And that was Margie Gribbett that sent me that. So thank you, Margie. It blew my mind to see it because they do shit like that all the time.
thank you, Margie, too, because now I'm gonna get to hear about it, and that's my home state. So that's where I am.
Have you heard anything about the license plate readers that they're hiding in Arizona?
I don't know about. I mean, I don't know about that they're hiding in Arizona, but they've had those in New York for a long time. They're on just about every cop car now. They can scan something like 1,000 license plates a minute.
This is just so ridiculous.
Yeah, they've had those for probably 8 years, 10 years in New York. Those license plate scanners.
Just more and more of a police state, dude. It's
getting
ridiculous.
In New York, you know, up until I don't know, maybe 3 years ago, they went and they decided they were going to put cameras on every single traffic intersection now. They already had that down in New York City, but now in upstate New York and even in like some of the more suburban and rural areas, on all the traffic intersections, and then they've also got the just your regular spy eye dome cameras, just along the streets. When they first went up, so many people were pissed off up here that they started going out and they were like putting on masks and stuff, and they'd go out on like on dirt bikes, or they would go out in different transportation that they would be able to spray paint them so that then they would have to go and keep fixing them.
That is ridiculous. I caught a video from Ghost X channel earlier. She posted about Antifa. Do you know anything about them declaring a civil war?
They've been saying stuff like that. I mean, I don't really. I followed what they were doing with the whole Charlotte stuff. But I, for the most part, I try not to really look at them because I know that they're just like they're owned, plain and simple, just like Black Lives Matter and some of the other, and it's not just Black Lives Matter and Antifa, the Aryan Brotherhood, they're all owned. I mean, it's any of those organizations that are there and they're designed to keep racial tension or racial war going. They're all owned and paid for, and most of the people in there don't know what's really going on. But the high level ones, they're being given orders to do that, to divide us. That's what they're doing, plain and simple. I try not to feed into it because unfortunately, society has bred all of us into when we start to hear about that stuff, it strikes emotional chords for a lot of different races, and then it ends up subconsciously then creating racial division and racial aggression, and it's just counterproductive to what we all should be doing. We should be not worrying about if we're black, white, yellow, brown. We're all the same. We all bleed the same.
See, that's what I believe. Like, I don't get into the nationalism. I don't get into the gender bullshit. Like, we're all human beings. We're all equal. And the more that we try to divide ourselves, the more we take away that whole everyone's created equal.
Right. And I mean, it even goes to like, with this whole new the sexuality stuff. I don't know if you've been catching this, but I've been noticing it because I do watch. I'll watch like maybe 5 minutes of the news just to see what they're putting out there. And even when you go to like the local news, you're seeing more and more that they're not even just resorting to the racial tension. Now they're going to sexual tension, where they're creating division with you're straight or you're gay or you're transgender. I mean, I just got done seeing an article, not an article, but a news story on my local news, and it was talking about how a bus driver is being fired because and these kids were middle schoolers. Okay, they were middle schoolers, and there's problems on the bus. The kids weren't behaving, so he said, okay, well, the boys need to go on one side, the girls on the other. Well, there was like 3 or 4 students that then were saying, well, we're trans, non whatever binary. I don't even know what I mean. The stuff they come up with now is just it's insane. And they're coming up with some kind. And he didn't. It was an older bus driver. He had no clue what the hell they're talking about. He's like, well, then go sit with the boys then, if that, or the girls then, if that's where you feel comfortable. Whatever, you know. Well, then now the bus driver's getting fired because, according to the district, they've all received some kind of politically correct training, that they're the only school in the entire, and it just so happens that the only school in the entire upstate New York has this problem happen. It's so manufactured. It's racial, it's sexual division, just like they use the racial division. Now they're using that, and it's to shove some of these beliefs more down people's throats. And I mean, I don't care if somebody's gay, straight, whatever they are. But the news to pick up something like that and to run with it, that's just to create more division. It's another way to divide us. People don't see it.
Well, the problem is that people are so ready to be against somebody.
Right.
Like everybody's looking for someone that they can be better than, that they can look down on.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's very true.
It's ridiculous, because I mean, when the whole transgender bathroom thing happened and everybody was up in arms about it, like they were doing it before. It was happening for long before it became legal for them to do it. They were already doing it and no one was busting a grape over it. But as soon as the media wants to talk about it and put their spin on it, now everybody thinks their kids are in danger in these bathrooms.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's all a way of dividing us more. They find any way they can. They're anything with an opening that will cause more division, they'll use. And people, like, for people to really be fooled enough, and people do, they get fooled. They say, well, they're not going to worry about it on the local level. Like my town news isn't going to be. Well, no, they do though. If you just watch 5 or 10 minutes, and then you look at the different stuff that they're covering, it's all coming from the bigger networks. It's the bigger networks own the smaller networks as well, and they're told, okay, you're going to cover this. And then if you were to go and check on any of the other news networks in the other, cities and towns in other states, you're going to have the same kind of story. And that's a great one for people to wake up. If you go and you watch, they've got some of these compilations where they're
all
through
using
like
the
different
same
news
and shit.
Yeah,
I
they're
saw
saying
that.
the same exact things in all of these different, news networks in different cities and states all across America, and it's always the same thing. It's pre-programmed. It's there to divide or to, manipulate the masses.
Yeah, I saw there was one where it was birthdays are a really important time in a child's life. And then you've got like every single news station for like 30 different markets doing the same lead in for the same fucking story.
Yeah. And it's not even just like lead-ins. There's quite a few that people have found. Hey, I know you like some of the like paranormal or Mandela effect type stuff, the stuff that like really boggles the mind. Have you seen any of those videos with the planes not moving or moving backwards?
No.
Dude,
Oh
can I say
man,
something?
you got to look that up. It's insane.
I have a personal experience with that. I've told Gou Bou about this before, and sorry to interrupt, but I'll make it really quick. I live out here in Northern California, Sacramento area, And in Fair Oaks, I called the portal because I was sitting outside with my girlfriend at the time, and we experienced a plane, like a jumbo jet passenger plane, flying overhead. And as soon as it got over our heads, 30,000 feet above or whatever, it stopped for 47 minutes. We counted it. It stopped. It just hovered right above us.
Should have recorded that, man.
Holy
we do.
shit.
We have it recorded. I've got hundreds of videos on my computer. I just need some eyes to help me go through it, but we'll get it. We'll get that out to you.
You do have it? Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, man.
yes.
Let's get that out there.
I got tons of weird
That
shit.
would be crazy.
Tons of weird shit. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah, I've been watching, guys. There's, you know, like there's some that I've thought, but they're too far away where if I try to record them, it's not going to come out good. But I've seen, there's a lot of videos on that Gou Bou. If you haven't like looked that up, look it up. There are people that have made compilations now, and there is like a ton of, it's like the Matrix is just glitching, and it's just, there's some where the planes are going backwards. Like they'll go back, they'll actually like shudder and go backwards, and then all of a sudden go forwards, and then they'll stop again and go backwards.
Wow. Like I've never even heard of that phenomenon. This is like it's seriously the first time it's ever been brought to my attention.
It's pretty crazy.
I get deja vu all the fucking time though, so I'm not you know, I know there's something going on. Something's weird. There's just way too many things that happen that aren't coincidental.
Yeah, that's it. You know, that's what it all boils down to, is there can't be that many coincidences. I mean, when it gets to a point where there's just coincidence after coincidence, there's got to be more to it than that.
Man. Hey, so this is steamit.com/@actsofkindnesstv. That's the link for people to go subscribe.
The one I put in the description box, whatever that was. Let me see. Double check. Yeah, steamit.com/@acts of kindness TV. I tried to do the random acts of kindness TV, but it was too long, so it had to be shortened to acts of kindness, which is still good.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
So yeah, everybody go and follow.
Now, if they subscribe there, will they be subscribed to the eSteam with all of the articles and everything too?
What's that?
If they go subscribe to that, is that just the video end, or will they get the articles and everything?
No, that's the main Steamit, which would have like the articles and then the videos.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, man,
the videos go through DTube. The videos go through DTube, which is you know, you basically to do DTube, you just I think it's actually in the menu here for you do have a different key for DTube. So for those that don't know, when you go to Steamit, you set up your Steamit account. It takes like a day or two for them to approve it, and then let's see, I'm trying to find the Steam tools. I think it's under Steamit tools is DTube. Yeah, they have a bunch of cool stuff here. But yeah, we're actually going through like one of the things that we're working on is we're going through and finding out, being that we're gonna have, you know, do something so big on that channel, we thought it was behoove ourselves to find out literally everything that we can about that particular you know, platform that we're using. So I myself, I've been going through, I'm reading all of their guidelines, and I'm trying to find out, you know, the basic and the advanced information for the who is Steamit and who created it and all that stuff. So once I have that all figured out, I'll give that could be one of the videos we do, because I think it's important. Kind of like YouTube, we all had our channels which are big on there, but we see what YouTube has done to us. So I think it's important that we know what Steamit is about and whatnot.
Yeah, that's I'm so excited for it, Mike. I really am. I've had ideas about stuff that I wanted to do and put on there so that we could get it launched and get people interacting with us and let them put their stuff up too and not have to worry about it being taken down.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be awesome. The best thing that people can do right now is just go over and follow. If we can, say within 7 days, if we can hit, we'll say 7 days from today, if we can hit like 750 followers in 7 days, we'll put out like an extra little surprise treat out there. And you guys with your anybody that wants to submit profile picture artwork or cover image artwork, feel free to send that to either Gou Bou or Willow or myself through our respective emails. One thing we're gonna have to do, I think I'm gonna do that through Proton Mail. I think that would be better. What do you think, Gou Bou? We'll set up a community email so that they can email instead of sending it to each of us individually. For the community channel, we have the team one, but that's more for like we set up an email for them to submit stuff that's specifically for that to help keep it organized and filtered.
Yeah, no, I think that's the best because I'm already getting hundreds of emails. I know you're getting thousands of emails. I know Willow's being bombarded too. And that's going to just blow it up even more. So I think having it separate is going to be the best thing to do.
Yeah, I'll start a Proton one so it's encrypted. So since every other email I've had has been hacked, I'll go that route. And,
we are going to have to set up a Dropbox or a Google Drive for videos, I think, though.
Yeah, we could do something like that. I have a couple different Dropboxes already. I have some that already have increased space. I can take one of those and just rename them.
That's perfect.
Figure it out.
Yeah, no, I mean,
we'll work it all out.
I think we're really, really close to being able to start doing stuff. Now it's just a matter of getting people to.
Thank you for checking out our latest content right here on Third Eye Radio Network. Don't forget to like and share this content with your friends and family and complete strangers in hope to spread the knowledge and truth that we offer. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe and bell button to get a notification of upcoming released videos. And also, don't forget to check out our website, www.thirdeyeradio.com, where you can check out all of our live air times with our shows. Thank you, everybody. Take care and have a blessed day. This has been Third Eye Radio Network.